Welcome to our Dogsy. Discover everything you need to know about dogs and more. Our goal is to help you become the best friend and understand your furry companion on a deeper level. We provide information based on current research and the experience of seasoned dog owners. If you'd like to support our channel and help us create new videos, you can make a donation through the link in the description.
Dog and cat. Aspiring dog enthusiasts often start practicing with cats in an attempt to suppress their desire to eventually get a dog. If they manage not to harm the cat, resisting the urge to adopt a dog becomes almost impossible. Therefore, situations where a resident cat in an apartment is introduced to an adult dog or a puppy happen frequently. So, how can we arrange things for everyone to be happy? First and foremost, it's essential to reconsider the saying they live like cat and dog. These two species can coexist easily and naturally with each other when the owners behave correctly, and there's absolutely no genetic animosity between them. However, it's essential not to have excessive expectations. In peaceful coexistence, they are not obligated to sleep in an embrace, groom each other for fleas, get married, or raise children, as depicted in advertisements. Nevertheless, if you introduce a new dog to your resident cat, simply throwing them at each other is not advisable. The success of their first meeting partly depends on the character of the resident cat. Some may react aggressively to any stranger, while others may welcome everyone and immediately cozy up to guests, be it a person or an animal. But the other part of this success depends on how well the owners organize the introduction. There is an algorithm that can help create a peaceful cohabitation for animals with almost any character. Before inviting a dog to live with your cat, make sure the latter has plenty of elevated shelters. For example, access to the fridge and cabinets, nests on windowsills, and mats on bookshelves. Ideally, especially if the cat is a bit of a recluse, you should separate the animals into different rooms for the initial period. Firstly, because the cat needs a safe place to cope with the stress of having a new family member, and secondly, to prevent the two from starting to sort things out immediately and inadvertently harming each other. The cat's designated area should contain all her belongings: food and water bowls, a scratching post, and a litter box. In such conditions, it will be easier for her to get used to the dog's scent in the house. The time it takes for her to adjust depends on the individual cat. You can determine if it's time for a personal meeting based on the absence of aggression and agitation. Before the actual introduction, you can let the cat explore the dog's areas while the dog is in a closed room with one of the family members. If the cat is locked away while the dog roams the house, you should spend time with the cat, reassuring her that everything is fine and that the furry, smelly monster won't harm her. The first meeting between the companions is best conducted under vigilant supervision. The dog should be wearing a harness with a leash. It's important to keep the leash slack throughout the introduction. The leash is not used to lead the dog around the cat through the apartment, but rather to stop the dog if it decides to chase, intimidate, or touch the cat. All these actions should be avoided in the first minutes of the meeting. So let the leash be. The most important thing during the first and subsequent meetings of the cat and dog is to reward both if they behave nicely. The dog shouldn't rush to check out what's inside the cat, not whine or bark, while the cat shouldn't arch its back, hiss, or wave its sharp claws near the dog's nose. Praise them both, give them treats, and pet them, whichever they prefer the most. It's worth noting that cats, like dogs, respond well to kind words. If everyone is calm, you can play with the cat using a fishing rod toy and observe how the dog behaves. In further interactions, it's crucial to communicate to the dog that the cat is a sacred animal to be respected. This is essential to reduce the cat stress level. Cats in their natural environment have many predatory enemies, while dogs, therefore, if the dog decides to chase the cat, she won't be able to relax on the same territory as him. Even if your cat is a 33-pound Maine Coon and the dog is a half-pound tiny Chihuahua, the natural mechanism will still make the cat fear the predator next door if the Chihuahua decides to act like a hunter and can't control this instinct in the name of friendship. If the introduction and adaptation period went well, the further coexistence of the cat and dog will likely be trouble-free. These animals, despite belonging to different species, can communicate excellently with each other. They have similar body language, with the only difference being that cats are slower companions, and if misunderstandings occur, it's usually due to the different speed of expressing emotions. The most important thing is not to allow the dog to chase the cat and force her to hide in inaccessible places. At the same time, the dog can nuzzle the cat's furry side and lick her, but the cat has the right to meow and wave her paws if the dog gets too close without respecting her space. There's no need to scold the cat for such behavior. Let the impolite dog back off or approach more respectfully. If the dog doesn't back off, you should explain to her again that in your home, cats are to be treated kindly and listened to. If the introduction and adaptation period went well, the further coexistence of the cat and dog will likely be trouble-free. These animals, despite belonging to different species, can communicate excellently with each other. They have similar body language, with the only difference being that cats are slower companions, and if misunderstandings occur, it's usually due to the different speed of expressing emotions. The most important thing is not to allow the dog to chase the cat and force her to hide in inaccessible places. At the same time, the dog can nuzzle the cat's furry side and lick her, but the cat has the right to meow and wave her paws if the dog gets too close without respecting her space. There's no need to scold the cat for such behavior. Let the impolite dog back off or approach more respectfully. If the dog doesn't back off, you should explain to her again that in your home, cats are to be treated kindly and listened to.